Hello, hello, 276. How are you doing today? We are going to get started on this podcast. Today's topic is gatekeeping within the union and how it affects the union and union members. And we'll be touching on a few other things as well. We have the chat open to call in. Um, if you have questions, concerns, or just want to give your dialogue and ideals, or if you have something just to add to the conversation, you're welcome to do that. My name is Aisha.
Hi, and I'm Taquita. Welcome again. It's just our third episode. Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's get into it. So, today, first, I want to start by saying again, congratulations to all the 2025 graduates, whether it's elementary school, middle school, high school, college. Taquita has a graduate that just graduated today. It's her last out the door to big and better things, So we just want to give a shout out to all our, 276 members who got graduates, or if they're a graduate, and other local unions, just anybody that's celebrating the graduation. That's a milestone. No matter what, elementary, middle school, high school, college, it's all good. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on into what our topic is about, and then some. So we basically, how we come up with these topics, we just kind of like share different stories of what we see going on in the plant, or things that we hear that's going on in other plants and locals, and we kind of just go off of that with our own experiences, others' experiences. We give our insight, our dialogue. Nothing we say are we saying is the gospel. It's coming from our opinion, things we observe, things we might have experienced ourselves, or people we have talked to, and the things that they may have experienced as far as the issues and topics we always talk about. So it's nothing personal. It's not going after one set of people or one person. It's just a way to get the dialogue on, just experiences, things that we see, things that we think can be improved or be better or changed for the better. So we don't want nobody to take nothing personal or to heart. Just, it's just a dialogue to get, the conversation going, um, and just see ways to improve, our local as a whole. Well, you got anything you'd like to add to that, Quita?
You bring that up. I was talking to our committee woman, I believe it was this week or last week, and she was commending us on doing this and saying we needed this and it's great. And I told her that the reason I came on once you guys asked me was because a lot of times we're dealing with things individually, but we may not know how or what direction to go to. So us talking on this level could encourage someone else that may have went through it or maybe currently going through it or know
Yeah,
someone else who they can listen and get a direction on where to go and things like that.
yeah,
So I definitely thank you for saying that.
yeah, yeah. I agree 100%. As well as far as people, talking to us. I have heard nothing but good feedback so far about us doing this, and it being another way of communication. And just getting the word out. There's nothing wrong with having more than one line of communication with the membership. And just kind of another way for us to hear what they say and how they feel. So I'm gonna give a couple insights of what I consider gatekeeping and what I have seen at Local 276. Just in my perspective. Um, One of my main things was Doc 46 job. I consider that a form of gatekeeping. And the reason I say this is because I remember when I brought it up on my page, and no one knew. Well, I'm not going to say no one. A lot of people was not aware about Doc 46 jobs, how it worked, the process. How do you become a Doc 46 job holder? How do you apply? What was the ins and outs of it? Did you have to have experience? Who all qualified? These are a lot of things that I was hearing when I made that post because we had Doc 46 jobs coming available and people was not aware. And if it was a few, I probably would be like, oh, okay, but it was a lot of people. People with a lot of time behind them didn't know. People with a little time.
Right.
It was a mix, but it was just concerning to me that it was so many people in the plant that didn't know what a Doc 46 job was, how to apply, qualifications, what the process was, the guidelines, and I just think that's gatekeeping. It's a form of gatekeeping
Mm,
because how do these people get these jobs?
mm,
And what's the process? Is it being done legally? Is it being done, backdoor deals? Is it being done, I'm gonna put you in because you my home girl or my homeboy? Or am I gonna go by your qualifications? Am I gonna look at all the applications? Am I gonna give everybody due process? Am I gonna do this by the book?
right.
And from my point of view, it's not being done that way. From my point of view, I feel like people get these jobs because of who they know. And I could be wrong, but I'm speaking on my opinion, what I observe and what I hear on the floor and the conversations I have with different people. Now, we just had some Doc 46 jobs come available, was it
Mm.
last year? Didn't you?
Last,
Boy?
mhm.
Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't heard the status, or I thought maybe it was because the leadership that we're under now, everything was put on hold.
Okay, I get that. But that post went up May. Was it last year, May? Or was it the year before May?
May can pull,
Because our administratorship didn't happen to this year. So I say that to say,
right,
what's the holdup? President Keith Crowell, Chairman. Kenny Hines. What's the holdup? Why haven't we heard anything? Now I'm going to hold them to accountable for that, because from what I was told, they have to get together, link the applications, submit
Mhm.
them applications to international. Now, I don't know if that's the holdup,
Mhm.
if they have done their part and that's the holdup. If they have, kudos. If they haven't, what's the holdup? I know it's been a year. I do know that it's been a year or more. I know it was May. I can tell you verbatim the date. The cutoff date was May 12th. I do remember that. I can't tell you if it was 2024 or 2023 because I know it was sometime after. Let me see. Okay, it was
Me,
2024 because
yeah,
he's only been in office a year, right?
right.
A
So
whole year. The
23.
the the Doc 46 jobs came up in the process of transition from one president to another one. I remember that.
Uh-huh.
I remember the cutoff point, I want to say was May 12th when everybody had to have their applications in. I have asked a few times. I have made posts a few times. What's going on with the Doc 46 jobs? Now, I didn't put in an application for a Doc 46 job because I don't want one. Um, I don't think I have the time to even try to do a Doc 46 job right now because it takes a lot of your time. Um, but I just wanted to open to the membership. I just wanted the membership to be able to apply for them jobs, get those jobs, get the experience, know what's going on. So I know a few people that had inquired to me, and I inquired to, I asked the president a couple questions. I gave, his number, and I said, well, what's people want to know the process, because I know me and you even spoke about it, and I
Right.
told you, go for it,
Right.
do it, you know, and that's all I want. I just want everything to be fair and across the board for the membership as a whole. Sometimes I might hoop and holler about things or make posts. It's not always to just benefit Aisha. A lot of times things I post and say about is not to benefit me because I don't want no parts.
Right. Right.
But I want the membership
No.
to
Yeah.
have those things available to them,
Right.
um, just like this podcast. This podcast ain't for me. This podcast is for us. I
Right.
I'm not using this as no stepping stone to get nowhere else. This is just a means to make things maybe more better, another line of communication, So a lot of times when I post things or say things or call people out, it's not to just benefit me. It's
Right.
to benefit the membership as a whole, to make things better and transparent to the whole membership. So, I just think the Doc 46 is one way of gatekeeping, and I always say when these people get out here and be running for these positions and they ask for the membership to vote for them and they give you this long list of things they gonna do for us and how they about the union, then be about it. That's all I ask. Just be about what you say.
Yeah.
Do what you say you gonna do. Because if you don't, I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm gonna
Right.
call you out. I don't care who you is, friend or foe. I'm gonna call you out. It ain't nothing personal. If you're taking it personal, that's a you problem, not a me problem. But
Right.
if you run for a position and you say, I'm going to do this for the membership, I'm going to do that, Aisha's going to hold you accountable to do just that. And when you fall a little short, I'm going to try to help you, get back on task,
Hey,
So I just
bro.
feel,
What's up? Yeah.
uh,
Like, hey, sis. Hey, bro. What's up? Come on.
and it ain't nothing personal, but don't ask to be put in a position by the membership and you don't hold yourself accountable and you don't do the things that you say you're going to do during your term. Don't wait till the last hour to want to do it.
Yeah.
A little too late then. We don't want to see you in the last hour. We want to see you during all the hours. We want to see you from start to finish, doing
Yeah.
everything you're supposed to. If you get pushed back, hey, you got us. That's what we're there for. We
Right.
your support. But let's do things fair. Let's open things up to the whole membership. That's all I ask. You got any other gatekeeping things that you've seen or that you want to
No, but I did want to, I think I read something something. I was scanning through something, an issue, and I don't know where where at about a GM, and it may be changing subjects, but the GL um, is keying everything when the and done is going off.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you froze.
Uh-oh.
Asia? Asia? Hello? Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
She's frozen.
I think we lost
There she is.
Asia.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back in here. Hold on. There I go. I don't know what happened. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm still learning. Like I have learned. I am not computer savvy.
Okay. Chris got to train us.
Look, I'm taking my laptop and my tablet and bringing it with me. And Chris, I'm have Chris over in the corner on any break we get.
Yes. Talk about how do I do this? How do I do that? Yeah.
Yes, because I be struggling every live, y'all. That's probably why we be late. Cause I be one of the issues. I be struggling. I be trying to be all fancy and get it up on my laptop, and every time I try, I fail.
And then he got to walk us through what to click, what
Yeah,
not
so
to click. Yeah.
we
So shout out
apologize
to
for
Chris.
our late attendance. I be trying to be all fancy, and
Yeah.
I ain't there yet.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. So, but like I was saying, do you have anything you would like to add to that?
Not so much as the gatekeeping. I do agree with you.
Mhm.
On that, because you did bring it up to me and I wasn't aware. And then when you brought it up to me, um, on our breaks, restroom breaks on the line, I brought it up to a lot of people on the door line. Did they know about it?
Yeah,
Uh, and they wasn't aware either. And of course, just like you encouraged me, I encouraged them to do it as
yeah,
well. So, and that's what it's about, helping others. Maybe they'll use their advice, maybe they won't, maybe they'll pass it on to someone else who wants to use the advice and apply and stuff. So we got to just be there for each other,
yeah,
help each other out.
yeah. I agree. But yeah, and then another I would say another form of gatekeeping, I would say is, how do I say? These chair and co-chair positions. I'm not gonna say it's a total gatekeeping, but in my honest opinion, I think the membership should pick our chair and co-chairs of committees. The way it's done now, the process is they go over to the hall, they put their name in um, for a position. The e board picks these people, and it goes by majority. Mm, I don't like that process. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and I have my reasons for saying I don't like the process because I'm gonna speak from my personal experience. Um, I applied for a I applied for a few chair and co-chair positions just to see if I got one, which I didn't get none. But kudos, I'm happy for everybody who did get one.
Mhm.
But um, I did get some feedback from different people. At least 45, about four people, and majority of people reason was Some people didn't like me because I talked too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think your personal opinion of me should
Right.
not hold weight when it comes to voting for me in a position.
Right.
Let's go on what I do as an individual inside the plant union and all that. Not what you personally feel about me because I might have called you out on something, or called one of your homeboys or homegirls out on something. You using your personal opinion of me to affect the way you vote. So I feel like it needs to be taken out of board's hands and put into the membership hands as a whole to vote. I just think if the membership is the highest authority, why are we not voting on those positions?
Right.
As a whole, we leaving it up to a chosen few to vote on who's the chair and co-chair of these positions. And then I also feel like everybody needs a term. When you have sat as a chair or co-chair on a committee for numerous of years, let's say 5, 10 plus years, don't you want to give somebody else a chance?
All right.
I'm just saying, see what somebody else will do.
All right.
Now I get it. You have some committees where the people that's on them committees as chair and co-chair, they're doing a wonderful job. And I'm gonna call out one, Mo Cheese. Mo Cheese, he's wreck through and through. He makes it happen. And I give him kudos to that. I think this is only his second term as being the chair of that committee. But other committees, we don't hardly hear from them. Um, I'm on the women's committee. I've been on there. I was on there previously under Susanna and Stephanie as chair and co-chair. We was active as hell. We did a lot, but we took a lot on that fell under the recreation committee because they wasn't as active. So that kind of is why we did a lot more. We're now trying to get more members added to the women's committee, and we're trying to get back to being more active than what we have been in the past year or so. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I just feel like we need to let these committees, chairs and co-chairs, even if you just maybe keep the chair or let the co-chair move up to the chair position and add somebody new into that range. This is how you get experience. This is how you give other people experience within the membership. This is how you get more people involved and to be a part of something bigger than them. So I think we have room for improvement. And I guess we just go from there. Like, okay, like I know now one of the bylaws, the new bylaws or updated bylaws, I would say, is that you can only have 12 members outside of the chair and co-chair on the committee as official members, and the rest would be, I guess, volunteers. I don't know how the process works. And I also was told in our last meeting, we still trying to get the verbiage of exactly what's what, but moving forward, I know the members are to be voted in the committees. We still ain't got the process totally. I'm still a little confused with it, but I guess we'll get more literature about that at a later date. But I feel like that's a good process, but the chair and co-chair should be voted in the same way as well.
Right. Right.
So, and that's just to be fair across the board, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And it's more than enough of us to make it happen.
Yeah. Chris, question. Can you see if anybody is joined the live? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, we have people watching. Excuse my voice. We have people watching. Nobody has made any comments yet, though.
Okay. I just want to make sure. and then make people aware that they can call in as well if they're on YouTube. They have questions, concerns, or just want to join the chat or give some feedback as well. But yeah, that pretty much is my gatekeeping stories and what I experienced and what I have seen as far as that. So it's just not something to be aware of moving forward. Um, but I guess we can move on to our next subject, um, which is I want to talk about overtime and
Yeah.
what I just went through. Uh, so um, at the union meet last Sunday, I was made aware prior to the union meeting about some overtime issues that was going on. Um, and I asked Kenny Hines at the union meeting about the process of finding out if we were due overtime, if we was being shorted when they put our hours in. So he told me to put a call in and file a grievance. So Monday night, yeah, Monday night, I had a call that included me, my committee person, my alternate committee person, my zone, which is Steve, and chairman Kenny Hines. It was more than just about that. It was about some other issues I was having with vacation, and I got a better understanding of the process with vacation. I gave concerns about the process and um, things that could be improved as far as the membership. And Kenny said he's going to look into maybe doing a vote later down the line about the process, but we get into that in a minute. We talk about that. But I want to get into this overtime issue. So I was made aware of being short of some overtime when you stay over or come in early.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that I think maybe body shop and paint is getting paid the correct hours, but trim, I know trim is a big issue that has not been getting paid the correct time. Third shift being one in my area. So if you do overtime, I don't care if it's one day, every day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, get your hours out of it. I just had mine done, and this is what I received. It's just a bunch of papers, but it's basically just my hours. And I don't know if y'all can see where it's, yeah, the yellow highlighted areas is where I'm due overtime, where I was shorted. 17, I think it was. 17 days of overtime, going back 60 days.
Okay.
But that's not including this week. I've been working for the past 3 weeks. I've been working overtime almost every day because my counterpart is not at work. She's out on sick leave. But anyways, it's point one for trim third shift.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of explain to me a little bit about every department, every shift? Might be a little different depending on if you come in early, staying over, how the breaks work. Like second shift, I know they Saturday breaks is different than our Sunday breaks.
Right.
So they point system is a little different, I think he said. But they also gave me, let me see if I got it. Hold on.
And then go back to how you said to get them to have their hours audited. How do they have their hours
This
audited? Who do
paper,
they need to
so
contact?
so your committee person
Mm-hmm.
will pull up your hours. They will go back 60 days
Mm-hmm.
from when you were made aware of the problem. So like me, even though I was made aware prior to June 1st, I guess they going back from the day I made it aware to the chairman, which was at the union meeting. So my time would go back to June 1st
Mm-hmm.
and going 60 days from that date. So what my committee person did was went and pulled all my hours up, everything I worked, and she went in there and had to highlight all my overtime, and then go and look and see if I was paid 12 hours or 12.1 I was missing my point one, which is the way Kenny explained it is the break we work through. When we stay over, we work through our last break. We're owed that time. We're not getting that.
At all.
No. So
Mm-hmm.
I talked to James, which is my committee person, and I talked to Diane yesterday. So what they're going to do to make it easier, they're going to do it as a group for
Mm-hmm.
all of their area. And hopefully every other committee person who people might have an issue will as well. But I just wanted to make the membership aware. Get your hours audited if you do overtime, just to make sure your GLs are paying y'all for that break you work through when you stay over. It's a different process when you come in and work. That's what Kenny was explaining. So each situation will be different. Each person's case may be different. If you work second shift and you stay over into third, I think it's a little different. Or if you come in on from first to second, every situation is different. That's why it's best to have your hours audited, just to make sure you can pay for any break you work through at all. So as of right now, mine is, I think, 17 days of overtime that has to be just that point one has to be paid back to me. But they're going to do it as a full as one for trim. I think trim, chassis, every area that they cover are for us for third shift. So everybody that has done any overtime within the past 60 days, their hours will automatically be audited for any overpayment that they are due. So I just wanted to make the membership aware, like, do your due diligence. Anything we give extra, we need to be paid for it. That's time. That's time. I don't care if it's a penny. It's my penny. I worked for. I want it. And if I want to donate it back to you, I will. But give me that option. And I'm not saying it was a purposely oversight. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, like, now that the union make the membership aware, as a whole. So I did let my committee person and my alternate know that I was going to be talking about it on the podcast. I'm like, y'all might get a little bit overwhelmed with committee calls, but people need to know, that.
Right. And then, I'm sorry, and then I'm happy you brought this up, because I know on our end, I'm hearing a lot of chatter about certain GLs not putting in people time, and
That's a big
we want to
issue.
make money. We want to make our money, but the last thing we want to do is have to come hunt you down, come checking constantly every day when we come in if you put our time in. We're tired, 12, some doing
Yeah,
16 hours, and
yeah,
now we got to watch and make sure you do your job. No, shame on them.
yeah,
And
and
then y'all not paying us the
yeah,
one, or whatever the case may be. That is disheartening at times.
yeah.
Because
And then they get mad at you and frustrated at you because you frustrated about your time.
right.
I had somebody in the position.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna speak too much on it because I'm still going through the process of all the backlash into this. But it was a situation where I had worked a bunch of overtime right before Christmas break, and we was out. I got my check, and not only was I short of all my overtime, they had took 12 of my regular hours out. And I'm like, wait, what the hell? And then I have to wait till I come back after the new year to even speak with somebody about this. And then y'all take 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then Matt, y'all wondering why I'm pissed every day I come in here?
Right.
And
Right.
you got an attitude with me because I got an attitude with y'all.
Yeah.
Who not being paid? And
Yeah.
it took y'all 3 weeks. Y'all kept throwing the ball back to the other team. Oh, it's second shift. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I can't touch that. But what I worked.
And
So
I've
for a
been
while,
there
I was like,
before.
I'm not doing no overtime. No,
Yeah.
because y'all can't pay me. And I shouldn't have to chase you down. But you didn't have to chase me down when you asked me to stay. You had
Right.
to chase me down when you called me and asked me, can I come in? But I got
Right.
to chase you down to get paid for what I worked. I ain't asking for nothing free.
Right.
Nothing free.
Right.
I'm asking for what I'm due. So
Right.
I think that needs to be a dialogue between management and the union. Like I thought it was a process where if they didn't, their name went up to labor and they was some, discipline or whatever. But clearly that ain't happening. Something ain't happening somewhere in the Kool-Aid because it's still happening on the floor. That thank God I got a supervisor who I stay over for that makes sure she put my out. When I say something, she look at me crazy like, "Did you really ask me if I put your out?" Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure, but
And
and
let me play devil's advocate because I like playing devil's advocate. Um, the first few times, and we're having a shift in GLs a lot.
oh my God,
And on the door line, there is no telling who's going to be
you might
IGL.
have one day and have a different one the next day.
What? Or in 30 minutes. And so, I don't know, maybe when things like that happen, maybe we need a designated person to
That's
make
concerning
sure,
as well.
huh?
That's concerning having a shift in
Yeah.
GL from day to day. And then you never know. You don't know who to talk to.
Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
You don't know who is who. You might see somebody in the beginning of the shift,
You're
and
like,
it's a
where
whole
the hell
other
they
person.
go? Like that old boy that quit in the middle of our I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
That ain't funny, but it is. It is now, but in the moment,
Yes, it happens, and we
I say we.
need
I say
something
we
in
the step
place.
kids of the door line. We the step kids.
What? Listen, but when it happened, we should have
Oh,
something in place to still make sure that we're good. And we shouldn't have to put extra stuff on our committee people.
yeah.
No, whether it's the business manager or whoever it
They
is,
need to be
somebody
held accountable.
step
Yeah,
up. Yeah,
yeah. It was a comment up there. I don't know where it went. Do you
yeah.
see it? Okay, wait. It says file them grievances. You may think it means nothing, but it bites the GL's wallet in the end. I have quite a few in right now. I don't play them. Oh, you trust me. I'm the grievance queen. I'm
And
grievance.
I'm
Look,
bad at it. I'm
I'm
bad.
the grievance queen. Look, you.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's oversight or you know something that don't happen often, okay,
Right.
one. You get one. I even might give a new supervisor a little one,
The grace period.
but you only get one,
Yeah.
and it depends on what it is. But baby, I got 3 grievances in right now.
Yeah.
I would grieve it. I grieve it in a minute. People don't be want to do it. They be like, "Oh, it's a headache." Okay,
That's me. I'm like, hey, just
no, nope,
leave me alone. Let's
nope.
figure it
I
out.
I have this thought process. If
Mhm.
I get on that door line and I get in that job and I fuck up, they
Yeah.
might give me one grace,
Right.
but let
Right.
it happen again.
All
Guess
right.
what?
Notice.
Oh, I got to put you on notice. I got
Yeah.
to write you up. If it happened more than once,
Yeah.
you in the office.
Yeah.
No, nope,
It's true.
nope. That's my way of holding them accountable. You hold me accountable, damn it, I'm holding you accountable as well. And that's how I should be. Like, I got one grievance right now. The lady got a grievance within the hours of her getting the other grievance. She turned around and did the same damn thing. And I wrote her ass right up then in that moment.
Yeah.
And it hadn't even been 2 hours since she had signed the first grievance and turned around and did the same shit. I got we got to file another grievance right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play about that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because they
I
definitely do it to us. So I agree.
my only issue is the process. Like the business, I don't know if it's the business managers or the superintendents, or I'm not sure who they have to meet with. I be hearing the names, but they
Mm.
just names to me unless I know them, like, or whatever. So that's the process. The process is way out of whack. Like I hear some people say, "Oh, my grievance was settled," and I be thinking like, "Well, damn, how yours get settled so fast?" And here I am going on 6 months. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the hell? So I spoke with my chairman about that as well in that meeting, about the process of these grievances. Like, so I had to go ahead and push mine up because I'm like, no, it something needs to happen with that. It should not, no grievance should be left out for 6 months, depending on. I mean, I guess in some instances you have a lot more moving pieces to the grievances, but for like a overtime grievance, 71 chart grievance, something like that, hell no. 6 months, no. Y'all know y'all fucked up. Pay it. That's it. Just pay it.
Right.
And then the repercussions should happen to the supervisor who fucked up, not me. Why am I being held, being mistreated or misdone because your GL fucked up? That ain't on me. They just got caught by me.
Right.
So I don't know.
And then imagine who all else they doing it to.
Yeah. I see something at the bottom of my screen, but I'm scared to click on it because I'm scared I'm gonna go out the chat.
He said, management is not your friend.
They really ain't, And I'm not saying it to say, oh, we against each other, but at the same time, they're bosses. They there to do the job just like we are, And once people realize that, it'll be a better understanding. I don't have nothing against management at all, but I know you have a job to do just like I got a job to do.
Right.
Yeah. Let me just say this. They'll laugh and kiki and caca all in your face all day long. But when it's time for them to do their job,
they're going to do it.
They're going to cover their ass. Yeah.
And not think twice about y'all just patting each other on the back 5 minutes ago.
Right. They'll throw you under the bus. And I'm happy y'all brought that up. I don't know who I was talking to. Maybe I said it this week. As the kids say, the younger kids, the ops and stuff, they may look at us as their op. We may look at them as our op. But at the end of the day, we have to work together for the good of the product.
Yeah.
We don't have to like each other, whether it's on a personal level, professional level, but we have to work together. And I think now this shift that we're in, I think now we have to realize that it's not about us or, them. It's about working together to get this product out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is how we, provide for our families.
Mm-hmm.
We got to work together by any means.
Yeah.
I know Diane, our committee woman, third, shout out to her. I know she says within the union, we're family. Your family. And what do your family do? Sometimes your family fight,
Yeah.
I know my family, depending on what side they held in hot water, but we still family and we work together. So just keep that in mind, you guys.
Yeah.
On that. They are not our friends. They will throw us under the bus to cover their own tails.
That part.
You have to remember that.
Yeah. That's true. That is so very true. So, I just wanted to make people aware that check them hours if you're doing any overtime. Check your hours. And just make sure you keeping account of what's going on with your time.
And see, and let me just say, I hear you, but the problem I have with that, if I'm working 12s, doubles, of course I should at the end of the week, but every day I gotta check to make sure you putting this stuff in. I'm not gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
I'm tired as hell. By the time I make it home, I gotta shower, eat, take a little nap, and wake up and do it all over again. Who wants to do that?
Right. True.
Why do we have to do that? When we come to work, they expect you to get on 34 left.
Yep.
So when we staying over, we should expect them to do the right thing. We shouldn't have to, of course, at the end of the week, we watch it, but every day, come on.
Yeah. That's true. I just try to do it at I usually don't do it until Sunday. I ain't gonna lie. I'll do it to Sunday when I get to work. And I think about what I did last week. I'll be like, oh, let me check my hours, you know. Or if it's somebody else, I'll be like, hey, so you check your hours? Because I'm short, such, such, such. And I'm like, oh, shit, let me go check my hours.
I gotta check it. Yeah.
But I will say, for the most part, the lady that on first shift, who I usually stay over for, she pretty good. You know, I don't think, and that's the other issue I had that I brought up to James last night. Okay, why are the supervisors not being made aware of the issue? Because now what's happening is they did my audit for my hours the other day, but I'm working overtime every single day, and guess what's not happening? That 0.1 not being put in there still. So I said, why why management is not putting out a mass email to all of their GLs? Hey, we have been made aware that people that are doing overtime in trim, chassis, whatever area it is, are not being paid for that break they're working through. Make sure you're doing your due diligence and putting in that time. If you don't know how to do it, get with your business manager or whoever and let them show you how to do it. That would be common sense to me.
Right.
That's just common sense to me. I want to work easier, not harder, you know. So I asked last night, like, why are they not sending out a mass email when they are made aware that this is an issue? Because now what's about to happen is a floodgates is about to open. Right. Because just trim alone, you got some people that work overtime almost every day. Right. I know I have for the past 3 weeks. I've worked overtime almost every day. You know, before that, it was a day here, a couple days here, whatever. But for the past 3 weeks, I have worked almost every single day over. So not only are you having to pay me back pay, y'all got to go in there and fix my hours every day.
Yeah.
No, this week ain't going on no grievance, sir. I'm gonna need my 0.1s for every single day on that check come next week.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why that's not being, you know, taken care of as a whole. So they know moving forward to fix that.
And Asia, when you say they're not being paid through their break, can you explain the break, whether it's a restroom break or a 15-minute break? Because I know
it is that break. It is like, so say you third shift and you stay up for first shift. You know, we leave at 6:06, but when we leave, we have that last break. We're working through that when we stay over. We work through that. When the bell ring, we don't get off the line. We still on the line working. So it's 0.1. So they owe us for that time that we work through. We're not leaving. We're staying. So that's officially our break. So they have to pay us because we're working through our last break. So they have to pay us. So like, this was the other paper I received from Kenny. I'm sorry, y'all. It's all folded up. I'm so sorry. But it basically is just like, it tells you verbatim how the breaks, how basically, like, I guess if you put in a call for your hours audit, they should give you one of these. It basically explains to you how the breaks work for each department, each shift. Like, let me see if I can put it up there. It's all wrinkled, y'all. I'm sorry.
We'll get it to Chris and he'll somehow.
Right. Look. So it's just this basically just I'm just showing y'all what I got when I had my committee call. It basically just show you the breaks for each department, each shift, how the breaks work, how many minutes it is. So they would look at that and figure out if you was paid, if you wasn't paid. Because I think he said when you pull up your hours on your ring report, it should show a 0.1 in there. And none of mine did. So I wasn't getting paid through that break.
Okay. And I was asking you to really break that down because, you know, we got back in March, some 4 days converted to 6 days, and they on their grind, you know, and they did not know these things. I know, shout out to my sister. She's a hustler like me. She gonna work that overtime.
Oh yeah, she was in there last night.
Listen, and the only reason she didn't go in early, my baby graduated today. That's why I'm so tired, y'all. I hadn't been asleep for maybe 15 minutes, and I'm late to the podcast. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Tonight ain't looking. No, I'm just. I was gonna say the night ain't looking good. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah. So I wanted you to, break it down to
Yeah,
them so that they
yeah.
can know um how it applies to them and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much like even if they still don't quite get it or not sure, tell them just put a committee call in. I know our department committee people, Diane and James, are very aware. Steve is aware. And like I said, our chairman is aware. So everybody I know for sure in trim, on our side, is aware. And I'm sure probably John and what's the committee person name? What's his name? Shaq.
Check. Oh,
I'm sure they probably are made aware as of right now as well, or hopefully they will be. So yeah, I don't have like all the answers. I just know get them hours out of it.
right.
Make sure you get paid. You
See,
know,
I'm gonna scratch my head. I mean,
yeah,
I
because
at least
you've been getting some
it's
other
there.
hours in too. So yeah, but I
Mhm,
know last night James and Diane did let me know that they're gonna be doing it as one whole group, uh,
mhm,
for all of everybody that they cover. So I know that would be trim. I think they cover some of chassis
and the
drivers. Yeah.
mhm,
So, and not all areas this is happening with. It's not all areas because I think they said paint and body get paid
mhm.
for their breaks or whatever. So I just know it's a big issue on third shift and trim for sure.
And
So
that's the big issue with us having group leaders, consistent ones. And that may be, I don't know, that may be a reason why, it may not be, but um
yeah,
yeah, this little transition period we're going through, maybe that's why.
yeah, because I'm tired of the transition.
Yeah, good. And then maybe, and here's the option. I don't know if it can get to them, but when they bring them on over there and it start being an issue, maybe train them on how to put our hours in.
Yeah, and that's what
Um,
I'm saying. That's what I was asking about, as far as this point one thing, because I said, I told Diane, I said, I don't even want to say nothing to the first shift supervisor because I'm scared she gonna try to put it in and go screw up my hours that I
yes,
already got in. So
of
I'm
course.
like, I don't want to touch it. Like, I want to be paid, but I don't want to touch it and try to explain it to her. But I'm like, that would be for her supervisors to tell her this is what's going on. We've been made aware. We having to, we gonna possibly have to pay out all this money back to these people that's been shorted. So moving forward, put their time in correctly, please.
Make sure they're trained on how to do
Right.
it.
And that's why I didn't say nothing to her because I'm like, shit. If I say something, she going there and fuck up my hours.
Yes,
Nah, I don't want to touch that.
yes.
So I was
Big,
like, I'm leaving it up to them. But like I told them, come next week,
yeah,
I want my point ones for every day,
yeah.
every day. So, I
I
don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, get them hours out of it, people. Please get them hours out of it. If you in trim or chassis, make sure you get them hours checked for sure. Just to be on the safe side. But that's it about that. What else?
I think did Chris have something
Um,
about them damn anduns and them group leaders talking about
oh
just
yes, yes,
he.
yes, yes.
I don't know if he want to buzz in and
Yeah.
speak on that, but
Y'all gonna make me talk, huh?
Yeah,
listen, but I sympathize with you because they don't want this line to stop for nothing. And I'm like, why do we need the kid in when if we're right here and it's just a quick fix, why do you want us to key something?
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. We have a new group leader in my area.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my voice, but and uh Atif is his I don't know if any of you know who Atif is, but he's the superintendent on first shift, and he got him trained well. He does a lot of shucking and jiving. for our teeth and everything. And he don't even want to stop to see what the problem is. He just come over, kid. As soon as the andine going off, kid.
Mhm.
Got to the point at my last plant when they would do that. If I pulled the andine, if something was going on,
Mhm.
and the group leader come over there and start the line back up, and then want to ask what the problem is. Apparently nothing. Let it go. Let
Hmm.
it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. No, ain't nothing wrong. Go ahead. You got it. And I dare you to touch it. Let it go. I dare you to touch it. You're gonna have an issue. So
Yeah.
but today we had a issue. I worked on tailgate glass. Installed tailgate glass. And we ran out of glass. The fork truck driver didn't bring the new rack over in time. Well, they had the wrong racks over there. Our group leader immediately comes over there getting ready to key the line, because the line getting ready to stop. We don't have no glass. So he getting ready to key the line. I told him, hey, don't you key that. I'm not finna chase all this glass, putting this glass on, going out my footprint. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
All right.
So the andine came on, he keyed it. I pushed my andine so the line would stop. So after that, he's trying to figure out who andine it is. I said, it's mine. He was like, well, turn it back on. I said, no, sir. He came over to try to push my andine. I hold my andine in the airplane, keep away with the andine. Step off, not until he bring that glass over here and put it so we can put it on this truck.
Right.
And I waited. So he goes and puts me on notice. So I'm waiting. I'm ready. And then I don't know who this other group leader, apparently he was second shift. He wore the white glasses all the time.
African American guy.
Yeah. Black dude, he got short arms. He wore the white glasses, looked like Robot Urkel.
Yeah.
Trying to say something. Hey, when he tell you to do something, you do. Man, look, first of all, you can step up off me because you ain't my group leader. You can't tell me crap.
Oh no, that's bird dog. No.
No, sir. We're not finna do that.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't know. I've been told he tries to assert himself anyway. A lot of times, but you can't assert yourself when you coming in smelling like Jack Daniels all the time. Hello.
I mean, it say speak up.
I'm just saying you
Speak up,
can't.
speak on it, speak about it.
How you a group leader and you trying to assert yourself, but you smell like Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Now let it been one of us would be in labor.
Exactly.
What? Yeah.
And y'all know only one group leader out there that wears them white glasses, so y'all know who I'm talking about.
I don't, but I'm finna go look for him.
You didn't see them. You didn't see them walking.
You seen him.
Yeah, you didn't see them. I didn't see them. I don't know his
Now
name,
look,
but I
I'm
didn't
gonna
see
be
him.
looking for everybody. I'm gonna be looking at everybody's glasses.
Like, hey. I want to come say, go to late. No. Get your ass something.
I don't know his name. Man, I think his name Mike or something. I don't know. But yeah.
Say looking. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, you're not finna play these games with me, dog. And so I mean, the next time we get into that, I'm gonna let the glass go. And if he asks me to, and I'm gonna dare him to touch it, because see, they good for that. And I file a grievance every time they touch any parts on my line.
Oh yeah, I had an issue with that with some supervisors from Kansas City. That they was brought here and they was down there, and the guy and the lady a temp was showing them how to do the job, and I'm sitting there looking at it like I'm doing my job, and I'm looking across the line at them like, why is she showing them this job? What they think they're gonna do? So
It was
I
a
said,
couple of
hey,
months
I
ago.
yelled across. I said, hey, what y'all doing? And he was like, the one supervisor like, oh, she just showing us how to do the job because she need a bathroom break. I said, oh, y'all finna get on the line? And he was like, yeah. I said, oh no, you're not. I said, you have a whole team leader at the other end that's free. Go get her. No. He was like, well, she says she don't know the job. I said, she a fucking lie. Excuse my language. I said, she a fucking lie. She do know the jobs down here. I said, so you can go get her and tell her to come down here and get on the line and let this girl get a bathroom break. But y'all can't touch this line.
Yeah.
So they walked off and went and got Stephanie and came back. And so when the girl asked again, like, somebody gonna remember me, he was like, oh, we can't touch the line. You sure the fuck can't?
You catch your own well, sir.
Not if we don't have no manpower issues and we have a team leader that's available to get on the line and relieve her. So no, you will not touch this line. And I got on the phone and called out, like, can you come out here? By the time she came out, I was like, I got it under control now. Look, I done already told him, like, because I was gonna let her handle it. But I was sitting there like,
hell no.
Y'all ain't gonna get on this goddamn line. I was like, what did y'all do? I know they probably like this.
A lot of it happens because a lot of people, like, see, that comes from the education part. A lot of these new members don't know that management is not supposed to be touching the line. Anything. They're not even supposed to pull your andine. They're not even supposed to touch your andine. You stop your andine if you have to. They're not even supposed to do that. But if people don't do anything about it, if they don't raise hell about it,
right,
they're gonna continue to do it. That's your job. That is your job.
Yeah.
You know, while you're in the union, that is your job. They're not supposed to be touching anything on that line.
Yeah. You know, I tell about I was told that when we have manpower issues, because I asked what was what was the guidelines of them getting on the line, getting on jobs and all that, and we just had that same issue Sunday where it was supervisors on the line because we couldn't run. And they said when it's manpower issues, they have the authority to get on the line and run the line or do repairs or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, that, this is the first plant I've been to where I have seen that happen, and Lake Orion, it didn't happen. Winsfield, it didn't happen. Fairfax, it didn't happen. This is the first plant where I seen and I only had one instance where I seen a supervisor touch the line in Winsfield. And when I tell you them committee people shut it down, they shut it down. They shut the whole motherfucking line down. Shut that line down and cut that supervisor out and told him to get his ass off that line and don't touch nothing else. And the line won't move until he moves.
And that's where I get it from. That's where I'm from. But
bro, this is different for me.
But see, a lot of people feel like that, because I've heard a lot. I've been here 5 years. I've heard a lot of the same thing come out of people's mouth. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. Not if you don't speak up.
Not if
you don't start speaking out about it.
Yep, it ain't enough of that. It's not people scared. People scared of retaliation or not being liked if they say something, if they speak up on what the issues is. I have people that used to speak to me that don't speak to me now.
Y'all better start saying something. Like I said,
right. Speak up.
Wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
And closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Not at all.
If y'all just letting management do what they want to do, then of course nothing's gonna change.
Yeah. You have to speak up against the problems if you want any type of change. And change takes time. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen within minutes. It takes time, and I know sometimes our patience runs thin because it's a problem that's been going on. But if you don't speak up about the problem, how can you expect a solution? And then my thing too is people come to me. I have people come to me a lot about issues, and I have a problem trying to help. But at some point, I be like, "When you gonna help yourself?" You know what I'm saying? Like I can help, or I can be the one to speak up about it. But who don't you want to be your own voice at some point?
Right.
I'm gonna always be at my own voice. I'm gonna always speak up for Aisha. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna fight for me like I fight for my damn self.
Right.
For what's right. And that's why, and I get it. Some people just don't know how, don't have the bandwidth to, but we need more people speaking up against what's not going on. That's not right. I'm not saying going there and make hell or, set fires for unnecessary shit. But, if it's something that's not right and it's not right, speak up about it. If you unsure, ask questions. That's what we got them union officials. We have committee people in there. We have zones. We have chairmen. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for. To answer the questions that we unsure about, to give us the answers and to hold management accountable for the things that they are doing. We held accountable. When we do something right, we held accountable.
Speaking about these Saturdays, every damn Saturday.
I think that's you, Chris, that been posting about other plants who are canceling their Saturdays.
Yeah.
Here we are.
like I said, hey,
we've been
when
doing it since 2015.
when you look at it, we only off 4 days out of a month.
Yep.
We get 4 days off in a whole month. Okay, is it too much to ask to get 1 or 2 more days? Is that gonna put this plant in the hole with production? I don't think so. I don't think so. You got 3 shifts running, and I,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I have yet to hear a legitimate.
That's you.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to help me on this, Chris. I'm sorry.
It's
I
the
don't know.
stuff.
Listen, I've been trying to figure that out since last time. I'm on my iMac, and my sons, they have an account, so I don't know if their phone's ringing and this,
Through it.
but I'm signed into my account, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh,
Keep
it's all right.
going.
But what was I saying?
Oh, you was talking about the Saturdays. Is it
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
hurt to give us one Saturday off?
Yes, it's not gonna hurt to give us 1 or 2 more Saturdays.
Right.
If we go 2 on 1 off, that literally gives us just 1 Saturday off a month.
Yeah.
1 guaranteed Saturday off a month
All
at
right.
least.
Ask for just one. Just give me one. Just
Right.
one.
All right. And
But
then
but then I have yet to hear a legitimate reason why we have to stay on these every single Saturdays. We can't get on plan A, plan B, whatever. They constantly want to say, "Oh, well, the plant will shut down, or we'll lose a shift, or we'll lose one of the we'll lose
They good for saying.
with Escalade." All I'm getting is gaslighting, but that's not a legitimate reason why they going why you. That's not a legitimate reason why we can't work on plan A or plan B.
Yeah.
all right. But in the midst of it,
Flying off no lots.
Yeah. Now with all that stock we got.
but in the midst of it, that's what the weekends, what is that scheduling thing called?
FS. No, not FS because we can't use
FS
it.
is for the weekend.
Saturday request.
Saturday request for a day off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm guessing that's what they're banking on us
But I
utilize.
keep hearing a lot of people say they get denied.
Yeah.
I've been hearing people deny it, but I've been also hearing people getting approved.
Would it be the same ones?
Exactly.
So how's that benefiting the membership as a whole?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
If some people getting the days off and everybody else getting denied,
Yeah.
it's really benefiting the membership as a whole.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that was my issue. That was one of the other issues I brought up with Kenny Monday, whenever I had this meeting. I don't know. At this point, the days are starting to blur together.
Right.
But it was about vacation and the process and how it's done, because like I said, I've been had this issue about a vacation day since March. Finally got it resolved. And I appreciate, my committee people, Kenny and Zone, working to get that resolved for me. I appreciate that. I commend them for that. But I gave them my concerns about the process after we are out of the calendar month for vacation, which I think is February, where you put in your days. Like I told him, I said, what about when things come up after that calendar period is over and you put in a day? The process is, they explained it to me Sunday, so I would know moving forward that even though our percentage went up as a whole for trim, for the plant, for the percentage of people that can be off of vacation, it still goes by your department. So it's still a set number for each department. And I think like the door line is in my department is three or 4.
Mm-hmm.
So say I put a vacation in and I'm on the door line. Now say you and a whole nother, say you in group 1, right? Mm-hmm. And you put a vacation in 3 days after me. I got more seniority than you. You got less seniority than me. Just so happen, y'all are under y'all block of people y'all can have off. Mm-hmm. You get the vacation day. Mm-hmm. Now mind you, we request the same day off, but you put in after me. Mm-hmm. I get denied. because of the area I'm in is high frequency on vacation. That's
We
not fair.
never gonna get our stuff approved.
Huh?
We never gonna get ours approved then.
No, but what I'm saying is, say
Right.
you get approved, you have
Right.
less time than me. It's
Right.
seniority ties, and
Right.
you put your vacation day in 3 days after me. But
Right.
you turn around and get the vacation day off, and I get denied because of the department I'm in.
You're
It's
in.
a high frequency on vacation for that day, and yours is a low frequency. How is that fair?
Not at all.
No, and I told that was my gripe. That is not fair to the membership because it ain't my fault I'm on the door line and we have a high frequency of vacation people or high seniority, and someone else just so happen to have a low frequency, or they might have more temps in that area than they do regular people. You know,
Right.
seniority people, so they get more vacation time and get allotted more. They get more of their days approved than me because where I'm at.
Right.
That ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. I said something. So that's what Kenny was like. Maybe they'll do a vote on different processes of how to do it. You know, because I get it that you have to look at the manpower. I get that, but my seniority is all I got to stand on.
Right.
So you telling me because where I'm at, I might not get the day off because it's high frequency?
Right.
No, that definitely need to be fixed. You know. So, you know, it's different things we need to work on inside the plant, and hopefully, you know, when they're made aware, it'll give them a chance to, you know, rectify it, come up with a better plan. But yeah, I'm with y'all on these Saturdays. Like, don't get me wrong, I work a lot of overtime lately, and I'm okay with that. But it's a choice.
Right.
My choice to say yes or no.
Right.
It don't mean because I work over every day that I wouldn't like to have a Saturday off. Because I would like to just give me
one out the month, and then maybe I don't know, maybe it will help with these call-ins that we have. You know, it may not. I don't know,
but you won't know until you try.
it's an
You know,
option.
we have a high rate of call-ins. We have a high rate of FMLA. Why?
Yeah.
You got to look into the why. You know, and they be saying, "Oh, people get FMLA and ain't nothing wrong with them." You don't know that, because I can tell you for sure. I've been at this plant over 10 years now. My body, and I get it, I'm getting older, but at the same time, my body has a lot more wear and tear on it than it did before I came here. And it's because I'm working 6 days a week.
Yeah.
That's not only that, you got to look at the fact I'm working 6 days a week. That's driving 6 days a week to work, back home, every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's added stress onto your body. So people come up get ailments behind being sleep deprived. You know, some people go into depression. You know, there's a lot of things that go behind it. So you can't say, "Oh, you got FMLA for no reason." You don't know what people's issues are.
You don't know.
You never know. So, you know, I feel like giving us a day off, I don't see why that would be a problem. You know, I seen in black and white I know we ain't on the 2019 contract number, but I seen in black and white that it was an Appendix A and an Appendix B. And I brought that up to Kenny Hines at a union meet, and it never went into fruition. Like, it never happened. Then when they came with us, I never forget, they came with us, "Oh, we finna go to 2 days on, 1 day off." And it was supposed to start in April. And the week it was finna start, they took it back away.
April of this year?
No, this was some years ago.
Oh.
We were supposed to be starting at 2 on, 1 off, and the week it was supposed to start, they pulled it. They pulled it. We've been on 6 days since 2015. I transferred here in 2014. We've been on 6 days since 2015. August of 2015 to be exact. Can't get an exact day because I don't forget at this point. But I know it was August of 2015. We've been on 6 days.
Yeah, I know they keep talking about this ghost MOU that we have out there. I've seen it, but you know,
under the old contract,
I guess I don't know, but they keep saying that we have this MOU, and then local says, well, that's regional's problem. Well, regional saying that's international's problem. International saying, well, that's the local's problem. Local got to deal with it. Everybody keep passing it off on everybody else. So if don't nobody want it, why don't you just rip it up and get rid of it?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it. The Appendix A and Appendix B. I seen it. I asked to take a screenshot of it. The guy told me no. Who showed it to me? He's still a union official. He's still an international rep. You know, I would never disclose his name, but I seen it. I seen it with my own two eyes. I read it when we went off a strike. This was during 2019. When we went off a strike, our very first union meeting that we had, I went up to the mic and I asked Kenny Hines about the MOU. He said he spoke with International and they said he had sent an email up to get whatever it was, and we ain't heard shit about it since. And here we in a whole nother contract now. So, you know, some things disappear. Some people get amnesia. I ain't forgetting shit. And if they go back and pull them minutes from that meeting, it should be in the chairman's report. Well, I went to the mic and asked that question about the MOU. So, yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you're saying something. But you know, you got some people that like working all these Saturdays and everything because they live above their means.
Yeah.
They got to keep up.
Yeah.
They got to keep up with the Joneses, you know.
All right.
If you take these Saturdays away, I would conform.
If you live like you make 40, like you work 40 hours a week, you won't have to worry about doing none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of us, we have to impress other people. So it is what it is.
I need to impress my bank account.
Myself, because you can impress a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
No. I work overtime when I want to work it, and I don't work it when I don't want to work it. I work Saturdays because I have no choice but to work them. But if you come to me and say, Aisha, we finna go to Appendix A or Appendix B, 2 on, 1 off, I'm being that bitch popping fake bottles.
Correct.
Right.
You know, I can conform to the hours I have to work. You know, because it was the time where last year when I was going through some health problems, I took a day off every week. I took a day off every single week. I worked 5 days every week for some months because my body told me I needed to. I ain't worked no overtime. I worked what I had to work, and my check was 40 hours. If I worked a Sunday, it was 41 hours. But I was taking a day off because my body needed the rest. I needed the rest. I want thing about no. They look at me. You want to I get somebody else to do it. I was up out of there. That bell rung. My shit was packed. And I was ready to go. So, you know, you can conform if you need to them 40 hours a week. But I was told when I first started at General Motors, I had them old heads tell me, no matter how much overtime. This is when it was anything over 8 was overtime. Live your life off a 40-hour check.
Yeah. I
was always told to live your life off a 40-hour check. Anything over that, that's play money. But you don't count that in your bills. You count 40 hours. And that's when overtime was gravy, because anything over 8 was overtime. It wasn't anything over 40. It was anything over 8. But they still used to say don't count nothing over 40.
And I think you told me that when I first started. Yeah.
Yep. So, you know. Well, I think we done touched on everything. We had no call-ins or nothing. You know, I know I had a couple people that said they did want to call in. I don't know what happened, but for anybody watching, if you would like to call in to the chat while we are live streaming, they have to be on YouTube, right, Chris? Or can they call in? Can they be streaming from somewhere else and still call in? How did that work?
Yeah,
I had to ask.
I mean, they can walk. I mean, they can still watch. You know, if you're looking at it on your tablet, you can still pick up your phone and call in. If you're looking at it,
they don't have to be on YouTube, correct? Or they can say it's streaming from Facebook. They're watching from Facebook or something. So I shared the link.
It won't be streaming from Facebook until we get at least 300 people on our page to like our page. So go like the page, okay, on Facebook, and then we can stream live on Facebook. But right now, we just got YouTube, and right now it don't matter. Just as long as all you gotta do is call the number.
Okay. So it don't matter. Okay.
Just turn
That's
your speaker down. It's like the radio. Turn your radio down. Turn your TV down.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is
That's why I was asking, because people was asking me and I wasn't 100% sure. So that's why yesterday I shared the link to YouTube, to our YouTube page. But yeah, please like, share, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube so we can get these memberships up, so we can start going live stream on Facebook as well. And also that that 276 speakup.podcast@gmail.com. That's where they can do what, Taquita?
What's good in the union hood? Any accomplishments, personal, educational wise, for yourself, for your union sister or brother, as long as you have their permission. Send an email to us, a brief description along with a picture, just our way of shouting out each other. Or maybe you see a brother or sister, grinding, doing something, working hard for something, and you just want to give them kudos. We need that. We need encouragement. We need to encourage each other, and continue to do that. So
Yeah. And I just want to, speaking on it, I just want to give a shout out to all the temps in the plant that's been holding it down for however many years, whether you're 4 days, 6 days. I know y'all don't get no days off like we do. And I know we complain a lot about getting our vacation and all that, but I just want to give a shout out to y'all for, holding it down, sticking with it, grinding, and, hopefully y'all time will come. I think we got a class coming up December of 2025, if I'm not mistaken, that should be hired. So yeah, just keep pushing. Keep, it's the light is at the end of the tunnel. I know sometimes it look a little dim, but I just wanted to give a shout out to y'all.
Keep thugging it out. Keep thugging it out.
If I could have done it, I ain't gonna even lie. If I had to go this long with no days off and
4 days, man, I commend them.
So kudos to y'all. I just want to give y'all a shout out to that. We commend y'all for that.
Yes. And then I would like to encourage leadership in the union. If you guys want to come in, if it's something you guys want to talk about, I encourage you guys to reach out.
Yeah, we would love to get union officials on here and chat. We trust me, we would not get on here and do y'all dirty. We just want this is an open communication for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's some things that union officials want to make the membership is aware of, or just want to speak on things we have spoken on the podcast, or even correct us on some things that we have spoken on. This is an open platform for all of us. It ain't just for the membership; it's for union officials. If it's anything we misspoke about, address it. Call in. Be a guest. Eventually we would like to, once we get it all together and we get all the kinks out, we have, we plan on making this to where we can have people actually join us on the podcast at some point. And we would love to have our president, our chairman, maybe some committee people here and there, just to get some questions answered, once we get this moving, the ball rolling a little bit more. Oh, and another thing, I wanted to shout out, June is LGBTQ plus, right, month. So shout out to y'all inside the plant, outside the plant. I know they got the committee has a parade coming up, or will be joining a parade. I don't have the dates, but just be looking for that inside the plant, probably on the gates, bathrooms, doors, or whatever. I know they do have an event coming up. Also, there was something else I wanted to say.
About that?
No, it was something else.
Juneteenth.
Oh yeah, Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Yes.
It
is officially a recognized holiday. This will be the first year we at General Motors will recognize it and have the day off. So that means third shift would have the night before.
Yeah, I believe it's the Wednesday. Hold on. Let
First
me.
and second would have the day of. So we third shift will come back on Juneteenth. That
On
is
the.
a blackout. Remember, blackout because it is an actual official holiday. It's a recognized holiday now. Moving forward. So kudos to that. I also seen at Gate 5.
Mm-hmm.
Um it will be some kind of celebration, a Juneteenth celebration. I didn't read it because I had 1 minute to punch in, so I didn't get a chance to read what it said. But hey, if you come in at Gate 5, and I'm sure they might have them at other gates, but if you come in at Gate 5, check out that flag that's posted like to the left side of the furthest gate. It's like a black flag with Black History colors on it, and it says Juneteenth. So check that out to see the date of when it will be. I don't want to give the wrong date, but I know it's sometime coming up. They're gonna have some type of celebration for Juneteenth.
I was looking to see if it was posted in there. And Juneteenth t-shirts.
Oh yeah, I seen
Kenny
that too.
posted, yeah, Kenny posted 2 days ago in our local 276.
Speak to the truth. Yes.
Um, pre-order is going on between now and the 16th.
Mhm.
Um, and it's online purchase only. Our code, and it's the QR code on there, so you can pre-order that as well as other union brother and sisters. They're
Me?
also making shirts as well.
Yeah,
Asia, my go-to. Okay, she my
got a few.
go-to.
I ain't posting them yet. I had so much going on, but I will be posting the ones I have. But yeah, Kenny did post on local 276, and I will once I get off of here. I will share his post
Yeah.
um to the United page as well for anybody that want to order. I think they're new and official shirts as well.
Mhm.
And I will post some of the ones I have, but also what else I want to speak on? Oh, and the podcast group, me, Taquita, Demetrius, and Chris, we will be going to Black Lake June 21st through the 27th, correct?
Yes.
Um, for a conference. So when we come back, we don't have a union meeting in July. We have one August. So we would do maybe come up with a brief summary while we're there for Chris to present to the membership of what we learned and everything, and more about the committee. And kind of maybe just to get the podcast out a little bit more, or whatever. So and maybe we'll do something on Facebook to give us a small, summary of what we learned with a couple pictures or whatever. So I think that is all that I wanted to talk about with June. I was trying to make sure I remembered. Anything else we need to add to that, Chris or Cleta?
I think that was Pride, Juneteenth, um, graduates,
I did
continue.
have to ask this.
Oh,
Juneteenth is the 19th, right?
Yeah.
yes.
They're not gonna try and make us do 9 hours twice a week, are they?
Uh, hmm.
We need to find that out. I mean, they bet no.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask tonight when I get to work. I'm gonna put it. Ask Diane or James. Put a committee call in and ask. That's a good question because
Because
we will.
I think they tried it last year, and some people raised hell about it.
Yeah, because if we come in on Sunday, 9 hours, we should not be coming back on Thursday,
Thursday
9 hours.
Right.
That's the question. And then that would be Saturday for first and second shift.
Or
Yeah.
first, second
Um,
shift doing 9 hours on that Wednesday. You know.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, because that would be our last.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Good question, Chris. Yeah, we need to look into that. Yeah,
Immediately.
If anybody know the answer to that,
right. All right, that's
hit
watching.
Yeah.
the page up.
Yeah, because that's a good question to ask. Yeah, because if we do work, if it's a holiday weekend, we work a Sunday and we come back during that same week, we shouldn't be coming in at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We come in at 10 o'clock start time.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Because I'm gonna be
That's
struggling.
part that 9 hour is part of an MOU too, right?
Yep.
So they
Mhm.
can't actually contractional work us 2 9 hour shifts in 1 week, correct?
Right. I believe so.
Hmm. Is it in the language? Because, like I always say, I deal in facts and what's in the language. If it ain't contractional, then I will see y'all at 10 o'clock on Thursday.
Any committee person or Kenny or
Yeah,
Keith, can even Kenny answer that?
yeah, we need to know that.
Yeah.
The membership needs to know.
All right.
Um, so yeah, we look into that, and maybe we post it once one of us get an answer. Post it on the Speak Up Facebook page, and then we can share it out once we get an official word because we don't know. You know,
Okay.
I just know if it's a MOU and it ain't in the contract and it ain't in black and white, I don't think they can contractually work us 2 9 hour hours in 1 week.
Literally 2 weeks out. Yeah.
Huh.
I said it's 2 weeks out.
Yeah, so we had time to find out. And yeah, because I would like to know how that answer just moving forward for any holiday that falls during the week, where we might work the beginning of the week, be off in the middle, and come back at the end. Um, how that would work. So that's a good question.
Mhm.
Okay.
You writing that down, Quita?
You know, in my notes.
Oh, and I didn't get an answer as to the last questions we had. I didn't get an official answer yet, so that's why I didn't address it. Hopefully, huh?
You talking about that the Rick guy had
Yeah,
Oliveris? Because
yeah,
I got an email while we was on that hadn't heard anything.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I asked and I didn't get an official answer to that yet. And I'm still, I meant to talk to Kenny. I'm gonna have to put another chairman report call in. I meant to talk to Kenny about the moment of silence. I know we did it at the Union Hall Sunday. We did a moment of silence for all members lost. We did it at our union meeting, doing the chairman report. But I would like them to reiterate doing it. Well, not reiterate, but I don't know the right word. We did it a couple times inside the plant. It was like the line stopped for a second. I would like, I don't know, however they got it done before
Mm-hmm.
to do that. I'm not saying it has to be every month, but maybe a couple times out the month, maybe twice out the month. So it will be every 6 months. Uh, so in the middle, like from January to the 6 month period, and then at the end, do 2 moment of silences. You know, because a lot of us build relationships with these people, and they become extended family. So I'm still gonna look into that, seeing what the process would be. I mean, I know it's a lot of red tape, so it ain't nothing we can just snap our fingers and happen. But it's something to look into. So I'm still doing that. I think that was pretty much it from last meeting to this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and then also the
The local contract,
the
Rick
file.
Oliveris, the local contract. I sent
Yeah.
the email out and hadn't received. I sent the email while we was live, and had I need to follow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we need that. Especially with the issues I've been having lately. I would like to have that to go back to for reference.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we still got a few things we have to figure out, and hopefully we can get some answers before our next podcast.
All right. So until next time, and in between time, speak up. We hear y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in. Um, you guys are constantly stopping me saying, "Hey, I see you." I say, "Oh Lord, pray for us, pray for us." And a lot
Right.
of people been saying,
They-
that
yeah, I get that tuning in.
they thank years ago they thank us for doing it now. That's what we need. We need to help each other and be there for each other. So kudos.
Yes, yes. So this is our third episode in the books. You know, we getting better with each episode, you know, and we just want to get people to be more engaged. You know, comment, call in, you know, share, like, and follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and a YouTube page, so we appreciate that. Even if you can share us out when we post about the upcoming podcast, if you can share that to Facebook, we'd appreciate it. And we look forward to the next episode. Something you got to add?
Yeah. Lindsay, our AA at the Union Hall, said there's not one for the local agreement yet. And
Okay.
of course, the previous one is still on our website. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, one question answered.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What was his name? Rick Olivares. If you're tuning in,
Yeah.
I don't know if he sent us an email to, I believe we asked him to shoot us the email because I don't have his email.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
But we can respond to him like that. Or if you listening, Lindsay, our AA at the Union Hall, said there's not one of the current local agreement yet. The previous one is still on the website, which we knew that, or that if you guys downloaded the app as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think the only thing I got is what we received for the rollout meeting. That's all I got as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's something that changed, I guess you can look at that. Or you can put a chairman, or you can put a call in. Yeah, that right there is what I have.
Out and available. It was out, and it says dated March 2025. Real helpful and useful. And also,
Until we get the locals, yeah.
Because you remember, I was still carrying around the
other one. You let me borrow your other one for compare.
She's like, I'm gonna get you your stuff back. Please do, ma'am. Yes, because one thing about it, I'm gonna read this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
If I don't understand something, I'm gonna go to my go-to person. And shout out to him, Stacy Wynn.
Yeah.
Stacy Wynn is my go-to. And I know he probably get tired of me because I'm always sending people his way.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I know if I'm sending people to you, I know I don't have to worry about it. You're gonna get it done. You know, I can shoot him a text, hey, this is what's going on, or not even that, but for me to get clarity on something, because what I may read and hear, you may get a different interpretation, just like the Bible. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I'm not understanding something. Break this down to me. I stopped him one morning. What does this mean? I don't understand this. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always good to have somebody you can go to for clarity. And that's what I also said to when I had the call. Like, you know, the language in a contract is to everybody's interpretation of what it means, you know, and I'm okay with that. It's when you change the interpretation to benefit the need for that moment is where I had the issue at, you know. So, you know, it's good to always have somebody you can go to and just get clarification. I got a couple old heads from different locals I go to, you know, when I had questions for some breakdowns, you know, where can I find this at, you know?
Right.
And a couple people here as well too, that I can go to that got some time in, and they've been, you know, they seasoned at a few different plants. So they have experienced it at different local levels and stuff. So, you know. But yeah, it's always good to have somebody you can go to for questions and concerns to get, you know, understanding. But with that being said, I think we have pretty much talked about everything. We've been on here almost 2 hours. That's good.
Take me a nap.
Right. We done held it down, you know. Hopefully our next episode, Demetrius will be joining us. He wasn't able to join us today. Hope he's feeling better. What else?
Yes.
I think that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna say my goodbyes. I will talk to y'all later. 276, Aisha Shellman, co-host.
Taquita Spears.
So if y'all see us on the floor, we both third shift door line. If y'all see us on the floor, stop. You know, tell us if there's anything you think we need to do different. If you like it, if you tuned in, if you like to tune in. So, you know, we look forward to the next episode and next episode and next episode. You know,
It's something you want us to talk about on here.
yeah. You know,
Get to
some
the
people want us
top.
to address. You know, we
Yes.
okay with that too. So
Yes.
we open.
Yes. All right.
With that being said, we're gonna close it out. Let Chris take it over and close us out.